Hey, what's going on? I'm Steve. Hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to show you how to learn to play any song on guitar by ear. There's 5 things that I do whenever I'm trying to figure out a song without tabs or chord charts or whatever. 5 ways to figure out what key the song is in, its chord progression, and even riffs and solos. Now, sometimes I only need 1 or 2 of these hacks to learn a song, or sometimes I need to use all of them to piece the clues together. But I believe that once you practice them and really get them down, learning your favorite songs by ear will become second nature in no time. But it's going to take some work. Now, I admit it, some people probably have more of a natural aptitude to pick up songs by ear, but I bet you already do more of this than you think. For example, let me give you 2 quick tests. Tell me, is Crazy on You by heart slow or fast? Okay, obviously that one's pretty fast. Next, tell me, is Twist and Shout by the Beatles happy or sad? What do you think? Sounds pretty happy to me. So that means most or all of its chords are major instead of minor, whereas Crazy on You sounded sort of gloomy and spooky, so that means it's probably in a minor key. So that's a little taste of the 5 steps that we're about to walk through together. When you have some breakthroughs and success, tell me about them in the comments, and be sure to hit like and subscribe because this is the first of a series where I'm going to keep diving deeper. All right, I hope you have a blast learning songs by ear, and let's get into it. Hack number 1 is listen to the bass player. Listen to the bass player. To illustrate this, I'm going to play the super famous song Take It Easy by the Eagles, and I'm going to cover up my left hand. I want you to only pay attention to the bass notes so that we can figure out what key the song is in and eventually the entire chord pattern. Ready? Right there, then it goes, I'm a running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. So right there, think about the very first note that you heard. It's part of a chord or whatever they're playing, but listen to the bass player only. Try to tune out the vocalist, the guitars, the drummer, whatever, and it goes boom, boom, boom. I don't have a deep voice, but that first note, boom, that's the first note that we're going to look for. So let me just fish around here. I'm going to hit the low E string. Ready? Boom. I'm going to hum that note. Boom. That sounds lower than what I just hummed. Let me hum it again. Boom. Just try to listen to the record. Hum that exact first note that you heard. Boom. Okay, I went high. Just picked a random spot on the fretboard here on the low E string. If this one is too high and that one is too low, let me just try to find it. Ready? Boom, 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 boom. That's it. That's a match. That's a match. So where are we? We're on the 3rd fret right here. And if you know your scales, your chords, whatever, what is that note right there? 3rd fret of the low E string? It's a G note, the low part of a G chord. But we don't know whether it's major or minor yet. But still, it's a big deal, because the first note or the first chord of probably 90% of all songs is what key that song is in. Think of it like the home base or the home screen on your phone, or even like your real home. It's the place where your mind wants to go. It's that repetitive place in every song where everything resolves and just sounds right. Okay, let's move on to hack number 2. Is it happy or sad? So now that we know it's a G note, well, let's think about the song. Is Take It Easy happy and joyful and positive or fun, or is it sad and scary and depressing? Well, it's definitely happy and fun, right? Well, if something's happy and fun, you can pretty much guarantee it's a major chord. So let's try that. Sounds really good, right? Doesn't it? But here's what it would have sounded like if it was a G minor. Well, I'm running down the road, trying to loosen my load. Obviously, that can't be right. Let's step away from the Eagles for a second, and I'll give you 2 other song examples that show off happy majors and sad minors. The first one is Wicked Game. It starts off with a home bass of B minor, and then it ends up on a positive note. So the first one was a B minor, sort of sounds sad. World was on fire. Goes to an A major and ends up with E major. So at that moment, it's pretty happy, but the beginning is sort of gloomy. Let's try another example. Tangerine by Led Zeppelin. Well, the G and the D right there were happy, but the beginning, it's an A minor. Even Robert Plant sounds like he's about to cry. But then right after that, what's it do? It goes. It gets super, super happy. And speaking of Tangerine, you notice how we ended up right there in G major? That leads us nicely into hack number 3. Try out some famous chord patterns. When you listen closely to nearly any type of music, most songs just copy each other and use the exact same chord patterns over and over again. For example, Tangerine right there was going from G to D to C and back up. Well, that's the same chord pattern as Small Town by John Cougar Mellencamp. And I'll give you a hint, it has something to do with Take It Easy by the Eagles as well. So what those songs are doing is using one of the most famous chord patterns ever, the 1-4-5, or if you play it in the other direction, the 1-5-4. So what do we mean? Let me show you by playing a G major scale, and it has 7 notes in it. I'm going to do them all on the low E string for now, just as an example. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the 8th one is an octave away from where we started here. So let's really call that number 1 because it begins again. So it has 7 notes in it. And what was number 1? The first note, the 1, the low part of a G chord, So that's the 1. Well, what was number 4? Ready? Number 4 was this note right here. And if you played it over here, that shows you right there, it's a C note. And what is that the bottom of? A C chord right there. And then, if you go one more to the 5, what is that note? It's an open D string, and that's the D chord. In other words, the 1-4-5 is G, the 1, C, the 4, and D, the 5. It's one of the most famous chord progressions ever. And if you play it backwards, it's G, D, C, like Tangerine or Small Town. So what's that have to do with Take It Easy by the Eagles? Well, in hack number 1, we figured out that Take It Easy is in the key of G. And in hack number 2, we figured out it's G major. So now we could just think for a minute about the song, just hum it and sing it in our heads. And you could just guess a few of the famous chord patterns like 1-4-5 and see if they work. Boom, it did, see? G, C, D, the very beginning song where it goes, and then you could think about it, well, running down the road, trying to loosen my load, I got 7 women on my mind. Well, that doesn't sound right. I went to the 1-4-5 like that, but let me try it in reverse. Running down the road, that's the 1, 7 women, that's the 5 on my mind, to the 4. So by doing 1-5-4, I'm starting to figure it out. But let's do it a little bit more scientifically. Let's return to hack number 1 and hum. Let's hum not only that first bass note, but the other notes. Ready? You see, we've hummed not only a G, but a C and a D. And by combining all these hacks, 1 through 3, we're figuring out the full chord pattern for the song. But as we keep going, we're going to need to rely on hack number 4 to memorize chord sounds and relationships. Do you remember the very first strum that I played? I could have told you the moment that rang out that it was a G major. Doesn't that just sound like a G chord? And as you keep growing and learning as a guitarist and a musician, you naturally just start to remember what certain chords sound like. For example, when I hear Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen, I just know it's a D chord, especially because that right there. Or let's try E major. Doesn't that sound like Lola or Back in Black? Back in Black. Boom, that E major just sounds like an E major, doesn't it? You can just listen to songs and listen for these memorable chords that you can pretty much identify automatically just by repetition. And then you combine it with chord relationships. And so you learn that A major goes with F sharp minor very naturally. It's like a chord pairing, similar to how C major goes to an A minor, or G goes with an E minor. So let's go back to Take It Easy. When it goes into the chorus, what happens? Well, if you use hack number 1, you sort of follow that bass note and you realize it goes down pretty low until you match it up with this. So the E. And then you think about it at that one little moment, that one little slice, it sort of sounds sad. Take it easy. Sounds right. And you remember the chord relationships we just did. A G goes with an E minor. You memorize these little chord relationships. So anytime you're going to a minor chord, like if you're in the key of G and you're going to a minor chord, there's a really good chance that it might be E minor. So just experiment, play around, and you might just nail the chord you want right there. Okay, let's close out with what might be the most powerful hack of all, hack 5, using scales to figure out riffs and solos. The majority of your favorite riffs and solos are just variations of notes in scales, particularly the scale the song is in. For example, Back in Black, it doesn't even use minor chords, but the whole song has this minor vibe. It's sort of mean and gnarly, and that uses the E minor scale. Well, let's go back one more time to Take It Easy. The solo in the middle goes... What is that awesome riff? Well, the song's in G major, so let's start by exploring the G major scale. Ready? I'm playing the G major scale, and you can sort of just listen. I'm just in one note of the G major scale, and once you know the scale, that's another part. Like we did the bass notes. All I'm doing is playing the major scale and sort of clicking around, humming, and realizing that the vast majority of solos are using the scale of the key they're in. So by figuring out it's in the key of G and sort of picking around the scale and humming it and trying to match the notes, you can figure out most solos. Now, this is a really quick version of number 5. I'm going to do another video on that where we learn Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. And that one I'll go deeper into solos and riffs to show you how to use scales in more of a note-by-note fashion. Okay, so these were 5 quick hacks on how to learn any song by ear. You combine all of them, or you just use 1 or 2 of them, whatever you need to do. And I believe if you just keep going, work at it, give it some practice, you'll be doing it in no time and you'll have some success. And I'd love to hear about it in the comments. All right, I'll catch you around the channel. Thanks for watching. See ya.